They are. Mersh, we have a guest. You want to introduce him?
We do have a guest joining us today, formerly of Timcast IRL, now host of the Crigler Show. The very widely liked and beloved Adam Crigler joining us today.
What's up, man?
What's going on, guys? How you doing?
I just want to establish real quick a couple ground rules here.
Okay. All right.
Royce and I do not like when people appear smarter than us or funnier than us. And I'm just letting you know, bud,
really
if you outshine us in any way, shape, or form, you're out of here,
promises.
and we will never explain where you went. Okay, as long as we're clear.
I'm used to it, so
All right. As long as we're...
You're great, man. I actually, the first time, I think we're doing Chrissy Mars, like 500th episode thing is where I met you, and you're great, man. I mean, I've checked out a lot of your stuff, and dude, your show is like fucking wonderful, top tier, and there's like no smugness. It's such a refreshing like change, you know.
Thank you. Thank you.
But
I appreciate that.
It's nice to have somebody in the sphere. It's not a complete like knee jerk. Like let's just have the most knee jerk reaction to something immediately ever. It's nice to have somebody calmly go, let's calm down.
Let's relax.
Let's do this calmly.
I was raised on logic, and I tend to follow that before anything else as much as I possibly can.
Yeah, I mean, He's
a big William of Ockham guy.
William of Ockham, okay. Well, I don't even know what that is. I'm too stupid. I'm really too dumb for
I don't
that.
know what it is either, so
Okay,
I guess
fucking
we found the
nerd.
smartest guy in the
Occam's
room.
razor?
Yeah, there you go.
The
All
most
right, if you say so. Is that a shave brand? Is that a plug that we have to do? Occam's razor?
Yeah, guys, $1 a
I
month,
just
you get
used it. I
Occam's
just
razors.
used it last night, actually. I
looks-
used Occam's razor.
That would be hilarious. Occam's razors, $1 a month, and we ship the razors right to you
I actually really love this.
with really stoic quotes, like fortune cookie.
Right.
So, obviously, we were talking about this a little bit on Twitter, but at least I was. And you were just
Is that
like
a shot? That was a shot because I don't have. Twitter.
You don't have a Twitter. You got banned. I do. And
Damn.
it sucks, right? Now, who's the smartest guy in the room? Stupid.
Damn.
We no, but we were talking about this, and you were a I think like us, an early Trump supporter, right? Like we were early, like into the Trump thing. We're like, this guy's different.
No, I can't say that.
When did you get into him?
Well, I was not political at all. Most of my adult life, I was just living life, doing my own thing.
Okay.
And in 2020, once I joined the show on Tim's channel, I just was kind of forced to pay attention to what I was what was going on in the political landscape. And I just, as I said, I follow logic, and I actually did a deep dive on Trump. So I started looking into his policies. I started looking into, his business career, and I was like, oh wow, he actually is a pretty good president. And I it's hard to say otherwise unless you're not really looking. And
Right.
I watched the DNC, the joke of a contest to decide for them to pick the worst two candidates that they had on stage,
And they
to
iced out
run
Bernie,
them.
and they just iced him out.
Twice.
Yeah.
Of course they did, because they just want him to pull a certain demographic into their fold, and he's done that multiple times now. He'll probably do it again. I heard a rumor that he's running again in 2024. It's like, yeah, good job, Bernie. You learned nothing, did you?
I remember I actually called it first too, and fucking even Royce didn't believe me when we
Yeah.
watched those debates, and I was watching it, and I went, "Biden's going to get nominated,ed," and Royce
That's
looked at
crazy.
me. Royce looked at me and went, "No, hey,
I
no
said that.
fucking way," and I'm like. It's just she's the only one they got. I was looking at this fucking circus act freak show, and I'm like, they're not gonna run Kamala. No fucking way. It's gonna make Hillary. They're gonna make Hillary look like a goddamn. No, but they did, but they didn't. You couldn't have her.
No, you're right. I know.
Run because she's just less likable Hillary. And I was watching it, and I'm like, God damn it, they're gonna run Biden, and it's just like how? And I'm like, I don't know.
I didn't believe.
I think they're gonna run Biden.
I think I lost a bet. I made a bet at like a $5 bet.
And then I
something
even was the
stupid.
first one to go, he's going to be president. I can feel that. And everybody's like, no, fuck. I'm like, I just got a bad feeling.
It kind of makes sense, though, because you look at who they weren't going to pick Tulsi because, she's too centered. She didn't fall in line obviously look at what she's doing now. Pete Buttigieg, I feel like they were kind of like putting him out there just to see how the environment felt. I don't think that he was ever really an actual candidate. And then
he also felt
Bernie,
like a kid. He felt like a kid on that stage.
Yeah.
Felt like Lil Pete. Like he was like one of those like if they were gonna do one of those cartoons about young politicians, like like the
Lil Pete.
Lil politician. Yeah, he's just Lil Pete. Like he just came off like a little kid.
I can see that.
So when for us, we were early. We were early Trump guys. We literally were put on the SPLC hate watch list for going to one of his rallies, one of the Moore rallies. Was it 2017 or 2018, Mersh?
2017.
2017 went to a Moore rally, and of course the SPLC is a joke now, but back then it kind of mattered a little bit. And we've defended him, and I think for us, and we've said it on the show, he really started losing me with the vaccine stuff. That for me is I put up with Bolton because I was also like, look, he's not experienced, he's going to make mistakes, which happens to all of us, right? Like we don't know what we're doing, and Bolton, and then everybody, they turn themselves. And listen, we've always said, and even today, even though I completely lost my support, Trump did, but he had the entire system against him, and that was absolutely no president's ever had that, and I get it. But I think it's not so much for me because even a couple months ago, even after the vaccine thing, I said, look, I don't like the vaccine stuff, but if he runs again, this coming election against Biden, I'll reluctantly vote for him because I can't have more Biden. But then when I saw the Candace Owens interview, and then when I saw other people, and then he's like, he still won't walk back the vaccine. I would rather have somebody like, people go, DeSantis locked down too. And I'm like, he did it for like a month. But he also, after that, said, man, I messed up. We shouldn't have done that. And I respect people that make mistakes and do that. But he's still going like, no, the vaccine's the best thing in the world. And that for me, and of course, the pardoning Weezy and not Julian Assange, really hit me the wrong way.
Fucking yeah.
Well, I'm with you on that one. And part of what I've noticed about his presidency is he trusted all the wrong people, right? I mean, and that showed, and the narcissism is, hey, I voted for the guy, but man, does that guy love himself and love winning, and he probably doesn't want to admit that he was wrong, although that's the one and only thing he's got to do, right? Yeah, Operation Warp Speed. Yeah, I mean, I have some things to say about that, but I personally know that YouTube will ban you or give you a strike for saying specific things about a certain subject. Yeah. So I'm sure we're in agreement on the vaccines. We'll just put it that way. And although I don't know, it's common knowledge now. I mean, this is what I say. This is how we've been handling it because we have gotten. Not kidding you, probably 3 medical misinformation strikes just far enough apart we didn't lose a YouTube channel. Hence why we did the Rumble thing where we're going. We talked to them. We're doing Rumble. And we have to worry about it because that felt really awkward to get actual. We weren't trying.
We can't wait till December.
Yeah, December 1st we're in Rumble completely. But we.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah, which is great for we're gonna still put clips up on kind of like Rogan does with the Spotify stuff. We'll put clips up on our YouTube channel, but it's gonna be Rumble only because. It felt so horrible for a lot of people to see actual doctors, actual medical experts say stuff about it, and you weren't doing it. So this I will say, and I said this before, NBC News on their Twitter has reported that they are now doing long-term studies on the effects of myocarditis because of the vaccine. That is a fact that they're admitting it now.
Yeah, I just read that article earlier.
Right, so
it's crazy.
I didn't even care about the vax or the propaganda surrounding it or whatever. If you're gonna get tricked that easily into being a guinea pig, then God bless you. It was the mandates. The mandates is where now we're getting into a get the fuck off my property type situation.
My body, my choice.
You know what I mean? Now it's now we're getting to one of those. I'm having a birthday for my 6-year-old.
Your body, my choice.
Your body.
Wait, what is it?
But it wasn't even like the the overwhelming like with the jobs and shit. But it was literally going to people's homes and being like, how many people are here? And it was like the Gestapo, and it's like having a birthday party for my 4-year-old, dude. Like there's like 7 people here, relax. And there's like no warrant. Cops are just looking around. They're checking for masks. It was like, okay, dude, this is where we get into a weird. No, I'm not happy, and get the fuck off my property.
Yeah.
Well, World Economic Forum came out and stated that it was a test.
Oh yeah.
To see who they can basically manipulate into falling in line.
And what about the dry run that they did in 2019? People ignore that they did a dry run of this where they had a fake pandemic thing. You know, what would happen if we had one, and all the world leaders met, and China was there, and everyone was hanging out. And it's again, it's one of those things where, like, you know, we like Alex. We've had Alex Jones on our show a bunch of times, and that's one of those things where, like, outside of him, like, nobody was talking about that stuff. And I kind of feel like it gets blocked out on purpose. And I think what Trump would let me down with Trump with the vaccine was, okay, remember when he mentioned the vaccine at his own rally, and people these are the mega fans that are there even booed him.
The Alabama rally, yeah.
Right. And
I remember that.
And that to me made me feel, you know, uncomfortable. I understand that he's not. And for me, you know, for us, we're from Florida, right? So obviously we understand that we have a little bit more love for DeSantis than maybe people that are not from here. I get that. Like, I understand we have a bias when it comes to that, but I try to take a step back and go, DeSantis literally sued the Biden administration for the mask mandates on planes. That lawsuit is why masks are gone on planes. So to me, it's just like, why did you have to take a shot at DeSantis? You're not taking a shot at crooked Hillary or fucking perpetual loser Jeb Bush. You're taking a shot at somebody who's the Republican with the biggest numbers, who everybody loves. Like, what do you?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And I ride for my dog.
I'm with
Ronnie
you
D.
on that. You know, and I have experience with people who want all the attention for themselves. So you know, you grow to recognize that kind of feeling in people. It's like, hey, I voted for Trump, but I'm not a Republican.
Right.
You know, I'm not a Democrat. I am someone who follows the logic and votes for a person and wants the best, like meritocracy, right? Mm-hmm. And I know there's no such thing as like the perfect politician. A lot of people are like, oh, there's this one thing. Nope, I can't support this person anymore.
Right.
You know, so when it comes to Trump, it's like, all right, I see the narcissism. I see, you know, how obsessed he is with winning. The vaccine is the perfect example of that, you know. So hearing about him this sanctimonious, it's like, oh wait, what? Because a couple rhinos have been supporting DeSantis, you know, or did DeSantis not do enough after your house got raided from the FBI and you know, his state, you know? So I could see Trump, you know, and who knows, maybe he's got some people in his ear like, oh yeah, he's coming for your seat, which maybe he is.
Kushner.
You know,
I think it's Kushner.
Probably.
I think Kushner's poison. Kushner to me is poison.
I agree.
You know, the thing here's the stuff, like, and I agree with you, because the Kanye's a great example of and I'm connecting this because, okay, people are like, oh, Kanye's crazy, but the stuff he said about the Kushners in that Tucker interview, that was real things, and people ignore that shady behavior, and okay, so you start thinking, what if they're doing the same thing? What if they're trying to do the same thing to Trump that they did with Kanye? You know, get in his ear, you know, do what I'm going to help you out. I'm going to hook you up. I'm going to run my policies. And I do think that is a bad habit that Trump has. But for me, it's like you said, the dissanctimonious thing. And then, okay, fine, you know, he takes shots at people. But then to be like, I know things about him and his wife that his wife doesn't know. I'm like, now you're personally, dude. Listen, Stormy Daniels, I defended you. You know, like, why are you doing this to somebody who's really never said a bad word? And I will agree with you that yes, maybe rhinos are supporting him, but my argument's always like, okay, and David Duke and the KKK endorsed Trump. That doesn't matter. Like, that you can't help who endorses you.
I do like this. I've just been imagining now, like, that he has his own. Now he has his own version of Trump in a beanie, just going out there going, "Creepy Adam Crigler, people." That's right. That's what we used to call him, Creepy Adam. Down here taking his shots at me. And you're like, no, I'm not. I haven't said anything.
Oh, fuck.
Adam Crigler.
Oh, that's
Crigler,
a good one.
there
you
it
go.
is. Boom.
Adam Crigler. That's what we used to call him around the office.
They say the word cringe comes from his last name. I don't know.
I don't know, folks. I don't know. Trump's I don't know is always great because Trump's I don't know is like they have the news has to say allegedly, where he makes some outlandish statement. He goes, I don't know if it's true. It's like, okay.
The man is weak, folks. He doesn't have a band and he doesn't skateboard.
Oh, fuck. Oh, man. Hey, look, honestly, you could tell us, is it because all this music sounds like Green Day? Because I couldn't be around that either, bro.
Wait. Wait,
Not-
Trump plays music?
No, not Trump.
Sure, Trump.
Yeah, you're right. Because if it is, that's fine. But
Because, like, if I started a band, right, I haven't been in a band since high school. If I started a band, all of a sudden, Royce would at least take me aside as a friend and go, it's terrible. Don't put any of this on the internet. Just for the sake of our show.
what if I have Offspring's drummer?
In fact,
right.
Royce,
We're done.
Royce and I are good enough friends. We care enough about each other that if one of us, if he started rapping or I started a band, one of us would file a legal injunction against the other one and go, absolutely not, on the grounds that it affects our company.
All right. Well, one thing I noticed there
Sure.
that you said that you guys are actually friends.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah. We've never said to the other one. We never said to the other one,
Okay.
you're not really my friend. Like, who said, first off, if Mersh said that to me, I go, what? Literally everything we've done has
I've
been
known
friends.
you for almost 2 decades.
I know.
It's a weird time.
Well,
That's the old Opie and Jim thing.
Decades.
But-
Just a little over a decade. You
Oh.
can't stretch it.
Then that's not, do you know what they say? It's not
It
a real
hurts, man.
friendship until 12 years. Everyone knows that.
Yeah, I guess so.
That just reminds me of the old Opie and Jim thing, though. Remember when Jim
Yeah.
was like, well, what's bothering you? No, we're not that close. I'm not going to tell
We're
you.
not
It's
gonna
like,
tell you,
you
we're not
guys were broadcasting for 20 years.
Yeah. And
You live in the same building.
And I gotta say, dude, and this is honestly just because we know the because we do YouTube, and we know the numbers. You have way better numbers when you were on there, bro. That's just my
Yeah.
observation, outside of like the Alex Jones and stuff, obviously. But
Yeah, because I wasn't a yes man.
Mersh, that's the thing with our show. Mersh and I argue all the time because we're like we've known it like forever. We argue all the time. We disagree we have blowout fights. And
We had a blowout fight the day after the election. Remember
Yeah.
that?
Oh,
We-
yeah.
We both came in a shit mood, and it was just like after the 2020 election, we came in and we fought for like an hour to like where half the chat was like, "Dude, this show is over," and then we came back and apologized, and we both admitted like, "Yeah, we're all in a real
We were in a
shit
bad
mood
mode.
today, man." Like it was, it was just very snippy. It's just
It's
pissed
almost
off.
as if friends can come back
Almost.
and
Yeah,
get
you're like,
along.
"My bad,
and
dude. Sorry, I was
proving
just
that
having a
civil discourse is actually needed in this day and age. Wow.
And we had the
That's-
excuse
that's
of election
inspiring,
day.
guys. It's inspiring.
I agree with that. Like, but you're right, dude. Like, I'd rather watch people with different opinions. Like, I'd rather even if I disagree with someone, I get bored if I just watch, fucking Hannity, sucking Trump's dick for an hour. It's like, okay, I get it.
We all miss Combs. We all miss Combs.
I miss Combs, and not because I liked Combs, but it's just hearing other things is how people come to different conclusions. The problem is all the the right wingers and everybody's always complaining. Left wingers, so it's an echo chamber. It's an echo chamber. It's an echo chamber. Then when you finally do something, you're like, oh wow, these guys disagree, and maybe. And you know what usually happens when people disagree? Fans and listeners tend to like going, hey, I agree with this guy on this thing, and I agree a little bit with this guy on this thing, and people don't have to fight, but it is weird because at least me personally, I don't like listening to Tim Sanctimonious, folks. Fucking do it. That's just my personal thing.
You know his middle name?
Yeah,
That's so
Tim
cool.
Sanctimonious Pool.
He doesn't
I've heard
tell
it.
anybody that.
No, he doesn't. It's Tim S. Pool. Like Homer J. Simpson. But it's just I don't know, man. I think a lot of the times, not just but with everybody, like you see so many shows come together and they fall apart, and then it's something else, and it's because of this, and it's like, dude, don't take shit too seriously sometimes. It's like, I mean, like I said, Mersh and I have screamed at each other, and afterwards been like, all right, man, yeah, sorry I yelled. I shouldn't have yelled, but I still disagree with you idiot. And that's it, and move on. Instead of like, I don't know, blow an entire thing up and burn it to the ground and be like, I'm the winner. Okay. That's on you, bro. But who gives a shit, dude?
I can't switch co-hosts every 2 months like Andy Worski. You know what I mean? It's too much instability. And I can't restart my life and rebrand every 3 months. I'm doing video games now, guys. You ever hear this game Skyrim?
I love where I'm at. I love where I'm at.
It's great.
I love what I'm doing, and I have a show on Mondays called Base Staff Mondays with an awesome group of guys, and I have a lot of people that have followed me through my solo career on YouTube and Rumble. I shout out to Rumble too, because Rumble is awesome. I really do enjoy. I'll cut my stream halfway through and just continue on Rumble and talk about certain opinions that are not allowed on YouTube. Which is fantastic.
We've done that. You know, it's funny. We've done. You know what's happened to us because of Rumble? The cool thing about now we're gonna go Rumble only after a bit, and for us, it's. I mean, it was easy for us because I know a lot of people like if you're monetized on YouTube. You're still going to make some money. The thing is, during that whole adpocalypse thing that happened with Carlos Maza, and he had that fight with Crowder, and then they just demonetized a bunch of channels.
No.
Okay, it was a couple years ago. Carlos Maza, the guy from Vox, started saying that Crowder was homophobic or something, and then YouTube completely panicked and demonetized a bunch of conservative shows. It was known as the adpocalypse, right? Okay. That was 3 years ago. July 3 years ago, they demonetized us and they never remonetized us. So that kills us. We were relying on Patreon and we were relying on all of that. But once they do that, they effectively kill you. So what's happened to us when we're doing this show on YouTube and Rumble, sometimes it's not that we have to shut it off. YouTube would just kick us off and we just keep doing it on Rumble. Because at this point,
we would get a suspension and then we would do Rumble and then we would turn to each other and go, that was a fun week of shows. Let's just start. And then we reached out to Rumble and they were pretty good to us. So we're like, let's just
feels different
over there.
There's something about being able to just flow without censoring yourself. And that's part of the reason why I'm talking about Tim nowadays. Because I found myself censoring myself to defend him, and that's like,
and it's one thing.
No reason for me to do that.
Yeah, it's one thing if you're just gonna fucking obsess over it and it's gonna be like all your content, then it's like, all right, dude, relax. But to just never mention anything is also just so weird when people are like, oh, it's fine, it's whatever. No, but come on, man, at least say something, Like
Mersh and I have been doing this show together for a very long time, and if for one day Mersh wasn't here and I never addressed it, people would be like, they'd be
speculating
man?
Like crazy.
So,
like, what is going on? Like, at least that one day I wasn't here. I just moved. And Royce was like, look, we're doing a show with producers there. He's moving. He's trying to get his fucking internet on. Like, he just moved. Like, give him a day. So, but if you just didn't acknowledge it, people would be like, oh, shit, they kicked him off the show.
And honestly, my opinion, and this is just me, and it's not because I have favorites.
Kick me off the show.
Your new set is way cooler.
Oh yeah, thank you.
No, but I'm being serious. Like that, I do love that. That look is just so much. It doesn't look like a generic podcast set. You understand what I mean? Because a lot of like, there's a lot of shows. I don't know if I'm sure you've seen it, but like the LA podcasting scene is basically turned into a cam horse thing where they just have warehouses. They have warehouses of different podcasting studios where they just pop people in, and it's like Mike Rowe was talking about actually. I think with Theo Vaughn talking about how like. Something about podcasting still needs to be a little punk rock, and I kind of agree with that. Where it needs to be a little, you need to separate yourself from the mainstream, and I think that's a big thing.
I have one concern. It's a little bit of a minor criticism. It's constructive though. Not enough product placement on there. You don't look like enough of a whore. We need some G Fuel up there.
Oh yeah,
we need some brand. We need some Black Rifle coffee up there.
Whoa. This is my Crigler coffee mug.
There you go.
Nice.
I have my own coffee company.
My
mom designed this logo, and this is an American mug, made in America. I don't have products because it's so damn hard to find something made in America, and I don't like supporting, cheap labor and shit from overseas.
That's literally like
you don't want your products made by 12-year-old Chinese kids.
Yeah. No, me neither.
The quality.
That was like the most wholesome shit I've ever heard. I got my own coffee company. My mom roasts the coffee beans. You're like, okay, well, damn.
This sounds amazing.
Hand roasted after you order it.
Damn.
She calls you sugar when she hands it to you. It's a wonderful experience. But that's awesome.
I don't think they bring it to the house brewed.
I don't know how it works.
Hand you a cup of coffee.
But that is actually that is cool. And there's a lot of people that are kind of like doing that. That's the other punk rock thing I do talk about when it. And I know it's kind of a cringe way to see it, but when I'm talking about like even the advertisers we get, like we're not getting J.P. Morgan, you know what I mean? We're getting other companies, and usually the cool thing about podcasting I found is that you're usually supporting like family-owned companies or owned by one person, and it's not like brought to you. This don't fucking check out Adam's next segment called "The Pfizer Files," brought to you by Pfizer. We're going to tell you why these drugs are so great.
No, that would be great. And then like Colbert do a little musical number.
Yeah. Who's your favorite late night talk host?
Oh man,
Greg Gutfeld.
Greg Gutfeld needs a studio audience. Greg Gutfeld goes a little boomer sometimes.
Nick Rekieta.
Yeah, okay. Nick Rekieta's our boy.
I
We
love
love
Rekieta, man.
Rekieta. He's our boy. So
He's anytime he's been to Florida, I always meet up with him, and he's a
good dude.
dude, man.
That's who I watch late night. I don't watch any of the main legacy
right?
media guys. Like fuck all that shit.
Dude, he pissed a
is
lot
the
of
Pope.
people off with Rittenhouse and then the Amber Heard stuff. Like, there was legit networks being like, he's leeching off of it. Like,
Long crime.
only we should be able to cover this public domain footage. Like, it was insane how they were trying to strike him.
Long crime. Hit him
They
with
were
a strike.
so mad that he was just pulling numbers, but he was like, it's like, yeah, if you guys just do an honest show with honest people and everybody's having a good time,
Who knew?
people would watch the fucking show. But if you guys are just going to be stiff, boring, and woke, people are like, that sucks. And like Nick to your point earlier, Nick brings in people he doesn't fucking agree with, and he argues with them. But it's like they have a good time, and people go, okay, cool. This is what a show used to sound like. People with different, varying opinions, and going, nah, I disagree, and then making fun of shit and still having fun. And it's he does a good show, man. I like Nick. I like when he gets when he starts getting a little sloppy towards the end.
Sloppy Nick's the best nigga. You kidding me?
When he's trying to get through the super chats.
But that
when he's reading Unbreaded, yeah.
But it's great because it reminds me of old like Johnny Carson, because he was another one that was known to do a little bit of the sauce when he was doing the show. It's true. He drank a lot of it. Ed McMahon is so many scenes you can look at him drunk on the show.
I was going to say, you watch Rekieta in hour 4. He's more like an Ed McMahon.
Yeah. So, okay.
But always entertaining.
We're like fucking all over the place.
Sorry.
No, it's okay. So, wanted to get to this. So, DeSantis I don't know if you saw DeSantis' reply. They asked him finally, and it was, in my opinion, the term is, and maybe this is why Trump is pissed, presidential in reply. In his phrasing, it was presidential. He didn't actively take a shot at Trump. He kept saying corporate media and all of these people. But my favorite part was he did the scoreboard, and that made me laugh. So what do you do?
Just look at the numbers. Like, ooh, Trump's like that motherfucker.
Sorry, Trump. I like Republicans that win by so much they can't cheat.
Well,
damn.
To be honest, DeSantis won by 20 points.
Yeah.
If
19.5.
If he
hold on.
Okay.
He also I can't say he, because Florida as a whole has completely redone their entire election system.
Yes.
To get rid of fraud,
and it worked. And one day we had
clearly it worked.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just think Trump hurt some people this time around, and I don't know, with Oz, and then like the brand got kind of cheapened. It was kind of like the NWO back in the day in WCW when they started letting just everybody. Buff Bagwell was in it, and they just started adding Vincent. And then you're like, all right, well now it's you have Scott Norton in the NWO now, so he had some real JD Vance, and Trump had a cool brand, and then it was and also Dr. Oz and Herschel Walker, and it was he really cheapened the brand, and DeSantis kept kind of an arm's length thing with Trump. And I feel like if he had more of the Trump thing behind him, he probably would have lost 2 or 3 points in the polls. So the fact that DeSantis is this standalone dude right now, and he's good luck to all those guys, man. But I'm doing my own thing over here. I think it helped him.
Well, the fucking Zeldin asked DeSantis to go help him during the election. He didn't ask Trump, so Trump was also bitter about that.
Well, it didn't help him, did it?
No. So what do you think? What do you right now? If who do you think? I know you're not a Republican, but let's say you're in the RNC. Who would you back as your candidate if you had to choose?
Between the two of them?
Yeah, between those two. I can't imagine anybody that's going to come in out of nowhere.
I don't know.
It's rough, right?
I would probably vote Trump because I don't want to lose Florida. I think Florida is really important. I would love if this was all a ploy to try to convince people that they're against each other, and then,
they run together or something?
In 3 hours, he's gonna. Although he did say her, I think a couple days ago in an interview talking about who his running might be. So whether that's Marjorie Taylor Greene,
Carrie Lake,
or maybe Carrie Lake, now that she's available, essentially.
Yeah, let's run our female beta. Let's do that.
Yeah, who knows? I would love it if they just were Trump DeSantis. Trump moves to freaking Jersey, whatever.
Yeah.
He's got his place there to make it legal, because that's like the leftist version of like, oh, whoa, you think that that's even possible? It's like, well, Trump can just move.
Yeah,
Right?
he can literally move at any moment that he wants. Well, and I've been reading about that too, but I don't think it's one of those. I don't think it's like a big work because you said it earlier. Like, I don't think Trump's ego would even allow him to do that. That's just my opinion. But and this is the thing.
I don't know if I agree.
We've said this.
I see what you mean, though.
We said this on this show. As a Floridian, I don't want to lose DeSantis. We've said that. We even before Trump started the sanctimonious thing, I was like, I know it's greedy. I understand this is a greedy thing because we're in Florida, but I'm like, if I could get any extra second that I could have him here, I'll take it. And not because people are like, oh, you're just simping. It's like, no, as a Floridian, he's the first governor that wasn't in Disney's pocket, Republican or Democrat. As somebody who lives here, we live in Orlando, like we're right by Disney. As somebody who lives here, Disney owned the state, not Central. They owned the state. Whatever Disney said, everyone bent over backwards. And when he finally goes, you know what? Not anymore. We're fucking done. You don't get your own country now. You don't get the United States of Disney in Florida. You're not the Vatican. You don't. This is not how this is going to work. That to me was like, finally, someone told these assholes to shut up.
Mm-hmm.
And
yeah,
then
I like that a lot about him.
The election thing you said, that's something that I think gets underreported. And I'm glad you said it. He fixed the election system here. It is not the hanging Chad days anymore. Elections get done in a day. We know who wins, and that for me is why I think we get a little defensive, and I think it might be a little bit because of also the sports thing. Was like, don't fuck with our quarterback, bro. Leave us alone. And
Royce is right, man. Fuck you, Disney. Like he said, you're not the Vatican. No matter how many children you fuck, you will never, ever be the Vatican.
Oh, damn.
A lot of catching up to do.
That's very funny.
Yeah, DeSantis really shined a light on them. Mm-hmm. And instead of trying to scurry away and hide, they kind of planted their ground and said, oh, no, we don't say gay. And it was like, the world was like, what the fuck? He didn't say that. That's not what he was saying at all. Like, why are you bringing that into this? What?
I think there's some truth to your theory that they're maybe just playing this off because...
You think so?
Think about it. We all made the comment when we heard the Ron DeSanctimonious and all this other shit. He's really he's like, we're like, he's off his game. He's being real weak about this, and it almost looks like when you're watching a boxing match, you're like, is this guy throwing the fight? He fights better than this. What is he doing? So I'm wondering if you're right. Maybe they are just saying, hey, Ron DeSanctimonious. That
would be the best outcome,
right? Like, you could have came up with a better nickname than that. He knew that wasn't going to catch on. So maybe you're right. Maybe they are just kind of like, let's act like we don't like each other.
Well, imagine that ticket, right?
Yeah.
Donald Trump and Ron DeSantis going against Biden.
Oh, no, I don't think, I honestly think.
He ain't going to last long enough.
Well, I don't, but truth be told.
That's another conversation. But.
Yeah, it's a good point. We'll actually do that one next. But before we do that, I will agree that because of the Florida support and because of the MAGA movement, if they were to do that, I don't think that they would be. I don't think anybody right now, even Newsom, would be able to beat that ticket. I agree with you.
Nothing.
But my only thing with that is, and now we always
Newsom. Jeez, that's
Christ.
A frightening premise. Holy crap.
We always talk about Newsom's wife right now was just speaking at the Harvey Weinstein trial. We were covering like that's weird, right?
Yeah, that's weird.
But I think that the other thing is we talk about Trump's ego. I don't think DeSantis wants to be a VP.
No.
I don't think he wants to go to D.C. I mean, he had that statement of why he ran for governor. It's because he wanted to be around his kids as they grow up, and his kids are what, like 8?
They're very young. They're very young.
They're kids still.
He's young.
It's like he wants to live in Florida until they're teenagers. I'm assuming so. Play out governorship until Trump can't run anymore. Because he knows that if he goes against Trump, it's going to be them dueling each other essentially.
It's going to hurt both of them. There's no way that doesn't hurt both of them.
They're the two top runners. There's no one else that could maybe hit the numbers that both of those men can hit.
That's been my theory. I've been praying for is that we get him for the 4 more years.
Mm-hmm.
He sits I'm hoping he's looking at the Trump thing and going, this is going to be a 3-ring fucking circus. I don't want to be in this Jerry Springer show election. Mm-hmm. He could do the 4 years. Then he can go run for Senate. He could go walk into any Senate or congressional seat in this state after he's governor. I mean, he could literally primary any Republican and be like, just get out of the way.
What do you think?
This is my seat now. And then that's 2 years. He could sit around for 2 years, stay involved, and then like, all right, 2028, kids getting a little older now.
That's a good point.
Like then it can be a little different. But yeah,
that's a really good point, Adam. I forgot about that. That he did say that he wanted to be around his kids when they went to school. So you do have to wonder if that.
You know who else said that once? Tom Brady. And then guess what? When they asked him to put the fucking jersey back on, he put the jersey back on.
Well,
like a champion.
There's a third party that you're not bringing into the equation, Giselle. Although I have worked with her, I've met her. She is very nice.
Right.
Of course, I've never married to the woman, so you never know what they're like.
Right. I mean, that's right. That's a really good point. I think
the loveliest women in the world right now are driving some motherfucker crazy. At least a little bit. You know what I mean?
That's actually a very good point. The hottest women in the world are somebody's nightmare.
Said you were going to quit football. All right. Well, you know, one more fucking year. It's like literally like $25 million, maybe.
And by the way,
I just lost my shirt in FTX.
I was going to say,
Tom Brady, fucking help me out here.
Didn't they lose $600 million? Brady alone lost $600 million.
Tom Brady lost a amount of money.
He lost Kanye money, and he didn't even say anything about the Jews.
No.
He just made a bad call. At least Kanye can. You lost really $1.5 billion? Yeah, I started popping off about the Jews. Oh yeah,
God's on my side. God's on my side. He told me to do it.
Oh, that's a good question.
He needs to get involved in a charity scam like Favre. That's what he needs to do. It's like get involved in one of these fucking charities.
That whole thing.
Jesus Christ. Hey, so what did you think of? Did you watch Chappelle's monologue?
Yeah, of course.
What'd you think?
I didn't watch SNL live.
No.
I caught it. I knew I would catch it. Someone would upload it, and I eventually
SNL uploaded it, which is weird.
I don't think we weren't picturing you like, you know, in your pajamas, like with popcorn freshly popped at 11:25 as you're watching the end of the evening news. Oh, I've been waiting for it. Like I figured you watched it on Twitter like the rest of us.
Up, you know, I'm an early '80s kid, so like when I was a teenager, you know, or a young teen, preteen, whatever, is like late '90s. SNL was still good.
Yeah.
SNL it was dope. We were in high school back then. That was dope era.
Will Ferrell.
So I remember those days of waiting up with the family watching SNL. It was like a thing. And if there was going to be an episode that I would watch, it would be this one. Because all the writers were boycotting, so you know it was probably
a good one.
Good.
Well, you know what
probably helped out.
It was literally just Dave Chappelle and Michael Che in that room. You're like, wow, this is gonna be a good episode. All right,
right.
Yeah, SNL now is just Pete Davidson's dating app. It's just what it is. Every star that comes in, he's like, "Hey, I'm Pete Davidson. All right, my dad died on 9/11. All right, man.
Man, I'm so quirky. Why do all these broads want to bang me? I don't know. Butthole eyes. Looks like a fucking young Steve Buscemi.
You call him butthole
eyes?
Yeah, he looks like he has Graves' disease. He looks like fucking young Steve Buscemi. He should have played young Steve Buscemi in Boardwalk Empire.
Well, he can't because it's too close to 9/11 because that's where his dad died, and he brings that up like all the goddamn time. The worst thing that happened because of 9/11, the two worst things that happened in 9/11 were the Patriot Act and Pete Davidson. And that's, I mean, I stand by that. But anyway, sorry, we get off track because the Dave Chappelle 15 minutes, and I've said this, might have been funnier than some comedians' hour special in terms of how topical it was, how funny it was. And you are correct that he helped write a lot of it because the first skit was a Chappelle Show skit where he introduced it, which was kind of funny. And he brought Ashy Larry back. I thought was really good. But that 15 minutes was so funny. And I think that anybody that watched it just trying to understand comedy wouldn't have gotten mad. But were you surprised about the backlash that even Chappelle got?
No, not at all. And before I talk about the backlash, just a little comment on like Chappelle in general. First off, he's the GOAT. And he has such a good way of weaving in reality and flipping it on everyone. No one's safe with Chappelle, which is good. You know, he makes fun of white guys all the time. I don't care. You know, it's like, do it. You know, it's fine.
Who gives a shit?
Make fun of everyone. Everyone, aren't we fighting for equality? Shouldn't we should we make fun of everyone? That's kind of what equality means, right? Although I think that's a sham equality, but that's another conversation as well. So his monologue, it was it was kind of like, you know, you remember Blazing Saddles?
Oh,
like,
dude, one of my favorite movies.
Mel Gibson, Mel Brooks just, he broke down walls and been like, yeah, you could do that and it's fine.
It's
right?
funny. Yeah.
It is. It's funny. And it's like, if you allow it to affect you, then that's a you problem, not the product or not the words, not the, the comedian, especially, because he even said it, and you could tell he got a little sad. It's like, it's hard to do this. I'm sick of this.
Yeah.
And it's like, that sucks. Like, one of the best comedians alive today, the best comedian alive today, said he is having a hard time doing comedy.
Doing his job. Yeah.
Doing his job. That's sad. I don't want to live in a world where comedy is dead because someone can't take a joke or you can't make fun of them. We need that.
And something else, because I think it got overshadowed by all the, all the anti-Semitic, which I don't think it was anti-Semitic.
There wasn't a modicum of hate.
No.
In anything he said. It was all funny. It was all topical. At no point did I get the vibe of like, wow, he's really burying these Jews. Like, he was just like, he did the lot of Jews. Like, that shit was funny.
Well,
and he wasn't showing any anger about it. He was just going, look, I've been in Hollywood.
Show me anything he's done in his entire career that shows him hating anyone.
No, of course not.
You can't. You can't.
And you know what's funny is that the thing that got overshadowed because of that stuff was like Chappelle explained in a really smart and funny way why people liked Trump and voted for him. That got overshadowed. That whole segment when he goes, he was the first motherfucker that came out and goes, yeah, we're doing all the shit that we said we're doing in there. And it's like, that won him over was when that whole thing when he said, when he had to go, okay, hold on a second. He told Hillary, yeah, you're not going to change it because it benefits you too. That was he's a Democrat, so obviously he doesn't like Trump, but he was honest. And I think that's what makes him the greatest comic is it's not about politics. It's not about anything. I think the greatest people thrive in disagreement, as we were brought up at the beginning of the show. I think that's what makes things good. I think that it's okay to criticize your own side, and I think some people are afraid to do that. And I think Chappelle went out there and he was funny, topical, and like you said, there was not any hate that he's ever portrayed on any group of people. I disagree with sometimes I disagree with his really hard line Black Lives Matter stuff, but that's fine. If you're funny, I forgive a lot if you're a funny guy.
Yeah. Social media ruined everything. I just want to go back to the days, like you said, where people can argue a little. Can we go back to the Dennis Kucinich, Ron Paul era? When you had two guys that really disagreed on shit, but actually could sit down and go like, all right, well, what about this? I don't know.
Well, we
would compromise and we do this.
We would do that.
Imagine if he actually won. Damn.
We would do that, but what if one dude really, really wants to get his band off the ground? By the way, Team Crigler, if you haven't been able to tell yet,
it would be Kucinich. Kucinich would be the band guy.
Yeah, he would be. But yeah, I mean, yeah, I agree with that. I think that at this point, and I want to know what you think, Adam. I think the ADL went from being something that used to actually protect people to being just another arm of the Democrats at this point. I don't think the ADL is anything you could take seriously anymore.
Well, the Democrats have their tendrils in nearly all facets of society now.
Yeah.
I mean, let's just I'm going to talk about FTX tonight on my show. So
sure.
I've been digging in a lot about that, and it's, dude, the more you dig into FTX, have you guys been?
We did some what I could say would be expert analysis yesterday.
Yeah. Well, so
wow.
It was basically us making fun of how weird that Caroline girl looks. Like she looks like a weird turtle person.
This is a child. This is a childish show. You'll get a little dose of red pills
every once in a while.
People will go, "Wow, I didn't hear about this story," but we're not really going to give you the info. We're like, "There's other."
We're going to
guys
talk about Mitch McConnell's long lost daughter.
Yes. Oh my God, she's a little turtle person. She really is the turtle from Rocko's Modern Life. Filbert.
Yes, she is.
Filbert, yes. But so did you have I do want to hear your stuff on the FTX thing because I really I was saying on the show, like, I really try to understand. Like, I went out there and really read stuff and looked at stuff, and it just kind of seems like a money laundering scheme.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, money laundering / control system. Because I found this last night. I was just rooting through some of the stuff that they have backed. And one of the biggest things that they have done is the fucking vaccine.
Yep.
And it's like, oh, wow. And then you look a little further, and then they were actually part of the. I don't know if I'm allowed to say these things on YouTube.
You can, bro. We're about to be off here in December. You can say whatever the fuck you want.
All right. Well, just like the ivermectin study and how they pushed that down, and it's like it's horse pace. And now, of course, the CDC has quietly added it back onto their list of things that you could use to try to curb your infection. It's like, oh wow, okay, interesting.
So well, not only that. Remember when Roe v. Wade got overturned, and then a bunch of lefties started posting, there's this horse medicine you can take that kills a baby, and it was like similar to ivermectin,
I remember
but it was
that.
some kind of like anti-parasitic thing that would terminate a pregnancy, and I'm like,
wow, I missed that.
Wait,
wait,
so
real.
we're back to horse medicine. Horse medicine's back on the menu, is what I'm hearing.
Right.
All right, okay. I just want to make sure. I want to know when you can and when you can't. I don't know. To kill a baby, all right, fine. To possibly lower your viral count, no, fuck that shit.
And by the way, you don't worry about getting our show hit on YouTube. Honestly, we had Alex Jones on, and before the show, he goes, "Don't worry, guys, I'm not going to get you in trouble." And like 2 minutes in, he was like, "We got to start killing politicians." And I'm like, "Oh, cool."
Calling Matthew McConaughey a cokehead.
He called Matthew McConaughey a cokehead and basically hit a fatwa on him. So trust me, nothing you say will top that insanity. I promise.
And if you get us popped, you know, we're professional grifters. We'll just be like, "Whoa, our episode with Adam Crigler was too hot for YouTube. Yeah, check it out. Exclusively on Rumble." You know, that old gag.
We'll put an electric guitar and laser noises. Well, now.
We'll get that
Perfect.
really
Laser
bad.
eyes.
We'll get that really corny graphic. Like we'll get a screenshot of Adam, but we'll like that fucking sense of parental advisory thing over his mouth.
Yeah.
Or like the duct tape, you know, man.
Oh,
like,
yeah,
road man, we're getting censored, man. Who cares? I don't care about this place anymore. Fuck you too.
Also,
burn it down.
Can I
Discord's
say,
next.
Can I say this? A lot of people, you know, you're very smart. I do believe you are, and I think you're very. I watched a bunch. I binge watched a bunch of your stuff. I think your analyses are great, but I think something that people sleep on with you is like you're a really fucking funny dude. Your comedy is so dry and so subtle, and it fucking gets me. Like it's really great. So I wanted to say, as just two dumb comedy guys, you're a pretty funny guy, man. And
Thank you.
And I think that kind of sometimes gets lost in the mix. You know?
We're just hacks.
Yeah, we're hacks. We'll whatever, dude. We'll listen.
I appreciate that.
I mean, I'm not enough of a hack to go meet the president with a beanie, but you know, I'm fucking pretty good guy.
Well, I feel like my comedy shines when I have other people to bounce off of.
Yeah.
Especially if they're they got their head stuck in a beanie. It tends to it makes it really easy to. It's like throwing me layups all the time.
Yeah,
you know?
exactly.
I feel like, you know, being on that show, it was very easy to, you know, shit on Tim, and which I find funny too, because after I left the show, right, I continued to shit on Tim. I would make fun of him, and people would be like, "Oh, you're so butthurt," and I'm like, "What do you mean? Like, I've been making fun of Tim exactly the same, like this entire time. Like nothing's changed, but suddenly I'm butthurt because he fired me. It's like, no, I'm making fun of him because it's Tim Pool.
Everyone makes fun of him.
I've done it
fun of the guy. Like,
for years. We've done it. But I gotta say, for me, the most inexcusable thing he ever did was wear his beanie and his 2 shirts to the White House to meet a sitting president of the United States. I was fuming mad at him.
Oh, he's so proud of that too.
Why?
Because it's punk rock. Because it's punk rock, bro. But
they invited me over there, right?
I hate suits.
I said I wouldn't go. They said, "Well, you can't go without being, you know, the dress code." And he's like, "Well, then I'm not going. I'm wearing my, you know, I'm wearing what I wear." And you know what? They let me go. It's like, wow.
I'm not a suit
guy.
Wow,
the president that bought a bunch,
buddy.
the president that bought a college team McDonald's. Yeah, man, that wasn't the biggest hurdle you've ever overcome, bro. That's us. Mersh actually started a GoFundMe one day, and this is true, to buy him a different colored shirt and a different.
We
colored
sent him
beanie.
a couple shirts and some new beanies.
It's true, we did, because we're like, come on, man, at least buy a clean one.
He never sold it. But.
Oh, you guys have no idea. He's got like his closet. If you look in his closet, it's all. No, I don't want to be clipped. I don't want to be clipped.
I won't clip this.
I'm not saying it.
If you don't want me to clip it, I won't clip it. I was just full screening it as I always do.
No, it's fine.
Okay, listen.
No,
is it filled with grip tape?
No, it's all the same shirt.
Wait, like Zuckerberg, right? Like Zuckerberg.
He's got all.
Well,
it's
many
just all the
geniuses
same
do
color.
that. Many geniuses wear the same outfit every day. Bill Gates.
Well, many.
What's
You
his
know
face?
who else?
Steve Jobs.
You know who else do? You know who else do? Homeless people.
It's true. It's true.
Oh, that's funny.
So does Homer Simpson.
This thing, I hate suits, but if the president asked us to go, you and I would both be like, at least at a men's
Even
warehouse,
fucking
going like,
hold
hey,
on.
listen, I need these brought in a little bit.
Even fucking Fetterman, who's a literal troll person,
Who can't fit in a suit?
put an off-the-rack Sears suit on.
Thank you. Hello. Good night.
Sorry.
I like
Hello,
how
good night.
Obama. I like how Obama went to Georgia and started shitting on Herschel. Is like, oh, he can't speak. He can't even articulate words. And then goes to PA and he's like, Fetterman's the future.
Yeah, fucking Senator Computer Box. Yeah, wonder. Yeah, you sure he is.
Nice. Cool, Obama. You
but-
have integrity.
Yeah. But hey, man, I mean, we're coming up to the end of the show here. I got to say, this was a fucking blast. We got to have you on again, dude. This
What
is
link?
a lot of fun.
What links should we spam in the chat?
Yes, where?
Yeah, well, the Crigler Show on
course.
YouTube and Rumble and Odyssey. Although I think Odyssey, it's still Timcast or Adamcast IRL. I was requested to change it. That's a long story there.
Wait, he doesn't fucking own the letters IRL. Go fuck yourself. Sorry.
IP2 is going to
it'll
beat
all
his
be
ass.
explained in due time. I'm actually working on a video.
Well,
that
we'll be there.
fully tells my side of the story.
Yeah.
If you
looking
want, I'll
forward to
spread
that.
the rumor in the IP2 community that Tim's
Cool,
going
cool.
around saying he invented IRL. I'm sure that'll go well for him.
I'm sure he'd love that.
Yeah.
But yeah, my coffee company, Crigler Coffee,
Hell yeah.
is the freshest coffee that you can order. You order it, and then it gets roasted and sent to your home. Some people have told me they've gotten it within 2 days of ordering. They order it on a Tuesday, they get it on a Thursday, and they're drinking the freshest coffee that they've ever tasted. So
We're going to buy it now and do a review on the show. I'm being serious.
please do.
No, I'm
Yeah,
being-
and let me know
Hell yeah.
what you think.
Yeah,
And,
and anything not to fucking buy black doxing rifle coffee.
Oh, fuck that company,
They
man.
tried to dox Alex Jones because he was like mean to them. I'm like, what are you doing, man?
Yeah, I don't understand why people support that company. I tried the coffee. I mean, it's okay. But I started a coffee company right afterwards. It's like, I'm going to make my own coffee. And I started making coffee before all these other people started making coffee. I'm just saying.
Right,
Everyone's like, why is everyone doing coffee? I'm like, well, I've had my coffee company up and running for over 2 years. So I don't know. But anyway, try it out if you want, if you like coffee.
And
Definitely
you're
check it
doing
out.
an FTX deep dive tonight?
I wouldn't say a deep dive. I have strict standards for deep dives.
Right.
That's like I
Okay,
didn't go.
a medium dive.
Well,
one of those
once I
one of
started
those
digging-
jump-ins where you kind of like pull your legs up as you're jumping into the pool.
Yeah.
Like in the medium
Yeah.
side, kind of.
Well, once I started looking at FTX and really seeing, like, I was standing at the edge and looking down and seeing how deep that rabbit hole went. I was like, all right, I can't jump into this. I'm gonna just talk about what I've found so far and talk about some of the weird connections that I've found. So, and I have Andreas Exertus joining me and Georgia Giant Slayer. They're going to be joining me as well. It's going to be great. Those guys joined me on Monday. Bay Staff Monday is Quarter Black Garrett, formerly of the Crowder Show. Now he works with Nerdrotic. Andreas Exertus, Flawdzilla, Darth Call, and Georgia Giant Slayer. They all join me, and it's a lot of fun. I just started a new show with Nerdrotic
Okay.
and Quarter Black Garrett on Sunday nights. We talk about ancient civilizations, stuff like that. It's very exciting.
cool.
Nerdrotic's cool. I've
Yeah,
had some
yeah.
chats with him.
Yeah,
before,
he's cool
He's
dude.
a cool dude.
Yeah, he's a cool dude.
I really like him a lot, and it's pretty cool to be a part of something else. I love those guys. It's cool how much of the community has kind of just accepted me as far as I was an unknown in the YouTube world in like this medium that I'm now in. You know, I was a skateboarder. I ran a skate school in New York, and I was a model for like most of my younger adult life, and I love where I'm at right now. So thanks for having me on, guys. I appreciate it.
Dude, that you're definitely have you on again because I feel like we like missed so many things we couldn't talk about in 1 hour. So I really do appreciate you coming on.
Sure.
Go check him out tonight. Thank you, man. Take it easy. See you later.
Thank you very much.
Thank
Bye,
you
guys.
so much, man.
Later.
Peace, everybody. Later, chat.
He's fucking
good,
great,
man.
man.
That was
Funny
fun.
guy. Funny guy.
Yeah, he's cool as fuck.
The Tim stuff killed me, man. The worst the same shirt thing. I was like, yeah, we kind of all said anyway. Like I already had that idea.